One of our viewers had this crazy old cat tattoo, and she finally decided to get it covered up. So stick around, let's see how well the artist did. This tattoo was sent in by Amy, and it was done over 2 years ago by an artist out of Weston-super-Mare, UK, and she goes by the name of Vicky on Instagram, VLC3 Tattoo on Instagram. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce her last name because I know I'll butcher it, but definitely go check her out. Now, let's break it down. So, as far as cover-ups go, typically you want something that's a lot bigger than the tattoo that you already have, so that you can hide your current tattoo within the contrasted areas of the new one. And what she did here was she tried to hide things like the Roman numerals here. She tried to hide them into these small branches and leaves here. And same with the bottom part right down here where the cat's tail went horizontally right here. I'll go back. You see those horizontal lines? Those are difficult to mask, and she tried to hide them in the branch here. The problem is when it heals, here's the healed version, you can see those lines go right through the raven's feet. Not a big fan of that. And then up here with the Roman numerals, you can see them go right through there. And so I think in this case, it would have been better to design it in a way where it's a little bit bigger. Maybe the raven is bigger, so the raven's covering up those horizontal lines. But either way, I'm not a fan of trying to put small tattoos over top of small tattoos. It doesn't work quite as well. And so for the design work, I think I'm going to rate it a 6 out of 10. I'm also not a fan of how simplistic these leaves look. They're kind of chintzy, cartoony looking, and the branch kind of bends in a goofy way to come back around here. So I think it could have been designed in a little bit better of a way. Now for the line work, again, I'm not really a fan because each one of these leaves, you can see her depth was very inconsistent, okay? And then again up here, see the depth is very inconsistent on these leaves. Some are darker, some are thinner, and then some are very, very faint. Like look at the tips of this leaf. It kind of does these two little wisp things, but that's the only leaf that does that. Then the raven's beak, another little wisp deal that kind of fades out. And I'm not sure if she's doing it intentionally or if that was kind of just not good technique. I don't really know. So for the line work, I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. I think it could be better. It's not the worst we've ever seen. But again, look at the top of the raven's head. It's pretty much a dotted line. And that just shows that the artist didn't have their consistency down. They were changing depths as they're going. And that's definitely not a good way. They obviously don't heal well. Now for the color work, I'm going to go back to the original because in the original, you can see all these bright, vibrant lavender, purple, the blues streak in there. And that's cool. Nice little glare effect off the raven. I like it. But then when I go back to the healed version, those really didn't stand out that great. They kind of blurred in there. And the reason why is probably because they're next to so much saturated black. It's hard for the body to heal that, a lot of damage. And so I think that they probably just didn't heal as vibrant. But you can tell from the leaves that the artist actually did saturate really well, and her skin tone held these bright greens pretty well. So on one hand, some colors stayed well, and the other ones not so much. So for the color work, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. And I think overall, I'm going to rate this one a 6 out of 10. I think it could have been better. It's not the worst in the world, but could certainly be cleaned up by a new outline and a little bit better blending on these leaves and colors here. Now I went and checked out the artist's most recent work, and it actually looks really good. A lot of different variations on style, some really, really clean work. So I think she's advanced quite a bit in the last 2 years from this tattoo. Some of her new work is just brilliant, so I absolutely recommend checking her out, you guys. So that's it for this one, 6 out of 10. Let her know how you would rate this tattoo down below in the comments. Otherwise, if you want your tattoo rated, just send it in. All right, bye-bye.